Happy Tuesday to you all. Welcome back to Meghan and Harry Tales, where we serve the Sussex stories hot, honest and unapologetically pro Meghan and Harry. I'm your host, Adrian, and oh boy, today's episode is a spicy one. We're diving deep into the circus act that is the British media landscape and their cottage industry of nobodies. Yes, I said nobodies who keep Meghan Markle's name in their mouths just to stay relevant. From botched-faced Liz Cundy to this week's new entry, Mica Paris, we are breaking it all down. Buckle up, because this isn't just tea, it's a whole kettle. Let's get into it. Let's start with the obvious. There is an entire industry in the UK that profits from dragging Meghan Markle's name through the mud. It's not just the tabloids, it's not just the royal experts, it's not even just the senior royals pulling strings from behind gilded palace walls. No, this extends down to the D-list celebrities, the washed-up reality stars, the TV personalities, and the once-charting pop singers who haven't had a relevant hit since VHS tapes were a thing. These people have discovered the ultimate hack: trash Meghan, get a headline, rinse, repeat, and let's be real, most of them are just auditioning for a seat on Good Morning Britain, or a 2-minute segment on GB News where they can shake their heads solemnly and say something predictably ignorant like, "Well, she just doesn't understand British culture, does she?" Because clearly, if you dare to say racism exists in the UK or worse, in the royal family, then you must be the problem. Now let's talk about the latest entry in this ridiculous parade of irrelevance, Mica Paris. To be fair, some of you might be asking, who is she? And that's a valid question. Mica Paris is a 56-year-old singer and TV presenter. She had a bit of fame in the late 80s and early 90s, and to be clear, no shade on her musical talents, but somewhere between the past few decades and today, she decided her next act would be joining the roster of Meghan critics. Enter Richard Eden's Daily Mail column. He gleefully quotes Mica saying she doesn't think it's helpful to call out people that you think are racist. You're perpetuating that hate. She also adds, I don't agree with her that the royal family is racist, not from what I have experienced. Let's pause here. First of all, calling out racism is not perpetuating hate. That logic is the equivalent of saying reporting a crime is committing a crime. That's not how this works. Second, just because you didn't experience racism in the royal family doesn't mean Meghan didn't. That's like saying he couldn't have cheated on her because he never cheated on me. It's not just flawed logic, it's dangerous. We've seen this same argument trotted out time and time again. I've never experienced racism in the palace. She's too sensitive. Maybe she misunderstood. British people aren't racist, they're just traditional. It's the gaslighting Olympics, and the media gives these people gold medals every time. This kind of rhetoric is designed to silence Meghan, to discredit her lived experience, to make her seem like a drama queen instead of a woman who risked it all to speak her truth. And here's the kicker, the media knows it. They know how ridiculous these statements sound. That's the point. The more inflammatory the quote, the more clicks they get. And if a black woman is used to discredit another black woman, well, that's just extra juicy for the tabloids. Now let's not forget one of the most infamous characters in this saga, Liz Cundy. If there was a gold medal for clout-chasing, Liz would have a whole trophy case. She pops up in interviews left and right, acting like she and Meghan were long-lost besties who had a tragic falling out. Let's be clear. Meghan attended one lunch with Liz, smiled politely, and moved on with her life. Liz, on the other hand, turned it into a career. Every few months, Liz surfaces to say something else delusional like, I tried to warn Harry, or Meghan ghosted me. Girl, she wasn't your friend, she was being civil. There's something deeply uncomfortable about a woman who clings to a brief social interaction like it was a spiritual awakening, only to spend years publicly attacking that same person. It's giving desperation, it's giving obsession, it's giving, I have no storyline, so let me hijack hers. Let's take a moment to examine just how different the rules are for Meghan versus anyone else, even within the royal family. Prince Andrew was literally associated with one of the most high-profile sex trafficking scandals in modern history, and somehow the UK press still talks about him with more gentleness than Meghan. Kate can be mysteriously missing for months and get nothing but glowing sympathy articles. Meghan skips a royal engagement because of pregnancy health concerns, and she's branded as unreliable. Camilla can openly admit to being the other woman in a decades-long affair and still become queen. But Meghan, who simply asks for kindness and privacy, is labelled a villain? Make it make sense. Let's talk plainly. Much of the criticism Meghan faces is not about her actions, it's about her existence. She is biracial, she is American, she is confident, she doesn't grovel, she married the spare and made him her equal. That alone broke every unspoken rule in the royal playbook. And for some people, especially in the media, that was unforgivable. So instead of confronting their own biases, they cloak their racism and misogyny in phrases like, "She's difficult, she's manipulative, she plays the victim." This is textbook character assassination. And it works because they have a willing army of irrelevant commentators ready to echo the narrative. What Meghan did by speaking out was powerful, brave, necessary. She knew the backlash would come. She knew the headlines, the smear campaigns, the fake royal sources. She did it anyway. And let's be clear, if calling out racism makes you uncomfortable, good. It's supposed to. It should make you reflect, not deflect. But instead of reflecting, the UK media deflects by finding every semi-famous person with a grudge to throw more mud at Meghan. It's exhausting, and it's why platforms like this one exist, so we can fight back with facts, with context, and with compassion. The most powerful thing about Meghan Markle is that no matter what these people say, they can't stop her. She's launching brands. She's raising beautiful children. She's happily married to a man who walked away from royalty to protect her. She's working with powerful companies. She's advocating for women and girls globally. And most importantly, she's unbothered. Let the D-listers rage into their microphones. Let the tabloids throw another tantrum. Meghan is living in their heads rent-free and she's not even paying attention. And that's the truth, folks. To Mica, Liz Cundy and all the rest, maybe instead of criticising Meghan for calling out racism, you should try calling out the racism yourselves. Just a thought. Thanks for tuning in to Meghan and Harry Tales, where we protect black women, support truth-tellers and don't fall for clout-chasing nonsense. I've been your host, Adrian, and I'll see you next time for more piping hot takes on all things Sussex. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to like, comment and subscribe and tell a friend to tell a friend. Meghan's not the problem. The system is. Until next time, stay bold, stay kind and keep calling it out.